Okay, so I'm working on a Grooms Room, and I got this light right here. I got to put this thing up. So it's an antique. It's weird, but the wiring's not bad. The insulation's not falling apart. That's what I really worry about. I'm pretty sure the socket up in there looks to be in pretty decent shape. We'll make sure before we actually fire it up. But so this is going to take the small A base bulb. But anyway, here's my deal. How do I hang it? So if I put it on this, which you could use for a sconce, I should have really oriented it the other way, but I didn't. I don't know what I was thinking. But anyway, doesn't cover the hole so good. See that? So what I've done is I got a blank metal octagon box cover, and that doesn't cover it either. I just painted it too, so there's wet paint all over it. But I just wanted to get a coat of paint on it. I'll touch it up later once it's installed, but it's not even close to dry. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna put this under the fan so it'll dry. Maybe a little wind blowing on it, it'll dry this paint a little quicker. Because it's wet, and I painted it over an hour ago. But anyway, between this is the cover I got for the thermostat. And I don't need that, because I just mounted a thermostat on the wall. It's like that without the extra big fingerprint cover, because I don't think we really need that. But anyway, so I've got this painted, and what's gonna happen is this is big enough. It does cover the single box. So that's gonna go on, and then this is gonna go on. I got 3 holes, and I tapped them even for little brass screws that I got there in a bag, that I'm gonna attach that to that, poke the wire through the hole, and then wire it up and then hang it on the box. These aren't really designed to go in that, but they'll just fit. I should be able to force the screws in. If anything, I'll just make it tighter. See what it looks like when we get done. Also, I've got these gizmos. Now the Empress decided she wants to hang these up to hang towels from. These are some antique snowbirds we got at an antique store one time like a couple years ago. So they're gonna hang up. I'm gonna put them over here. So we're gonna hang these up here. And wow, what is this? It's the one thing about having a place so close to the river. You get all kinds of giant gnats and bugs. For the most part, I'm pretty much done. A couple days. My hardest next job is probably scrubbing the floor. I got paint in places. You can see it down along the baseboard where I hit the floor a little bit, but I think that'll come up with a razor pretty easy. A lot of dust, dirt, crap like that, but I think the old little thing, I think it came out pretty decent and looking pretty good. So everybody that comes in and looks says it looks good, so I'll just take their word for it. Now this is basically like a tiny house. It's a little less than 8 foot wide, and it's about 25 feet long. So there's gonna be a little sitting area over in this area, and the Empress has a bed for over here. She's gonna doll it all up, and she'll hang some pictures and doll it up, make it look pretty. So people like to be here when they do come. And I hung up that hook on the wall, kind of high, because that's where, you know, we're imagining a suit hanging from that or something for a groom. That switch there goes to the outside lights. I haven't put them up yet. Gonna be just some patio lights that we're probably gonna string between here. Like we'll hang them here on that rail there, and then string them over to the post on the house porch, and just a couple lights going back and forth. Make it look kind of nice. And then we'll be able to turn those lights on. That'll be kind of neat. So anyway, I'm getting close. The bathtub's decent. Now that I'm really looking at it, I'm seeing more runs in my paint job, but you know what? I'm not gonna worry about it. There are gonna be some runs in the paint job. I mean, I could sand them out and stuff, but mainly I just hope the paint stays and the thing holds together. Don't forget I used that 8-year-old paint on it. Hardener and reactor and all that stuff, and by golly, it went through the gun, it sprayed on, it seems to be sticking, it dried. It's not like it's gooey. I'd use that stuff on a car, even if it is that old. Obviously not a customer's car, but you know, something I'm doing for me, what do I care? If it really goes bad, I'll just redo it. Anyway, I gotta work on plumbing too today. Try to get that all done. So, I better get back to work. Well guys, we're getting a little closer on the man shed. I hung that light. I didn't do it in kind of a goofy way. I used a flat plate, a flat octagon cover, and then I used my thermostat cover to cover it and then paint it around the edge. And obviously got a little paint on the brass, but you know what? It all looks fairly good, and the Empress is happy, so that's all that matters. So it's kind of cute. It's gonna be like a little nookie spot here. Well, not a nookie spot. It's gonna be a little nook here for breakfast, whatever. Call it a breakfast nook. So anyway, gonna have a little breakfast light here. And I've got an issue, which I've always got issues. Well, my big issue right now is I hooked up pipes, And you can see the red and the blue, that's hot and cold running water. And I've got the orange pipes, they're heat packs, which would supply heat to the floor. And they travel through a conduit underground and then into the basement of the house under this room here, which is a bathroom. There's a crawl space. So I'm gonna have to crawl in there and find out why my blue pipe, for some reason, it's plugged. I don't know why. I know I poured concrete in there, but I'm pretty sure I taped the pipe shut like I always do. So I don't know why, but that blue pipe, I can't get any water to it. It's plugged solid. So here it is. Oh my gosh. So I've had this pressurized. You can read the gauge. I'm up to what, 80? Yeah, 80 PSI. That's as much as I dare put on this PEX tubing. I think it's rated for 80 pounds. It drops precipitously with a rise in temperature. But I got 80 pounds on it. I'm not getting nothing. Now, I could open that valve, the toilet valve. Let's just see if we hear any hissing. Let's see what happens. Oh yeah. So that air is going out there. So that tells me nothing's plugged here or there. Unfortunately, it's somewheres down in the ground probably, but I'm hoping it's not. I'm hoping it's a connector in the crawl space. It must be something more than a little piece of dirt. So the only best I can do is crawl in the crawl space, unhook the PEX connectors. I think I put a 90. I think there's a 90 in there. Unhook that and see what the heck is going on. Anyway, great. I gotta go crawl in the crawl space. There's somewhere there's gonna be a connector. I can't remember if it's a straight connector or just a coupling or if it's a 90, but something's plugged. And that would be the most likely place where it would plug, would be right at that 90 or connector or whatever I got under there. So my next adventure is crawling into the crawl space. They don't call it a crawl space for nothing. I hate crawling. I'm 60. I don't like crawling anymore. Hey guys, hope you guys liked that video. Like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. We'll see you guys on the next one.